So let's start with prayers which are on my screen. You can repeat with me. Om Ajnanatimirandasya
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
Jnananjana
ज्ञानाञ्जन
Chakshuranmilitana
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं
Yena
येन
Tasmai
तस्मै
Shri Guruve Namaha
गुरुवे नमः
Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
Sthapitam Yena
स्थापितं
Bhutale
येन भूतले
Swayam Rupa
स्वयं
Kadamayam Dadati
रूपकथं ददाति
Swapadantikam
पदान्तिकं
Vandeham Shri
वन्देऽहं
Guroho Shri
श्रीगुरुं
Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun
कमलं
Vaishnavamsha
श्रीगुरुवरैष्णवांश
Shri Rupam
श्रीरूपं
Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam
सहगणा
Sajivam
रघुनाथं
Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana
साधुतं
Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya
परिजनसहितं
Devam
कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
Shri
श्री
Radha Krishna Padan
कृष्णपादं
Sahagana
सह
Lalita Shri
ललिता
Vishakhan Vitamsha He
श्रीविशाखाच
Krishna
हे
Karuna
कृष्ण
Sindhu
करुणा सिन्धु
Dinabandhu
दीनबन्धु
Jagatpate
जगत्पते
Gopesha
गोपीसा
Gopika
गोपिका
Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute
नमोस्तुते
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe
राधे राधे
Vrindavaneshwari
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
Vrishabhanu
वृषभानुसुते
Sute
देवी
Devi Pranamami
प्रणमामि
Haripriye
हरिप्रिये
Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
Sindhubhya
कृपासिन्धुभ्य
Evacha
एव च
पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
भ्यो
नमः।
नमो नमः
जय श्री
श्री
कृष्ण
जय
चैतन्य
श्री
प्रभु
कृष्ण
नित्यानंद श्री
नित्यानंद
अद्वैत
श्री
गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद।
भक्त भक्त
हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्ण
कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा
कृष्ण
हरे हरे
कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे
राम
हरे
हरे
राम राम
हरे
राम
राम
हरे
राम
हरे।
हरे हरे हरे
So welcome to our Bhagavad Gita reading. We are continuing from where we stopped, that is um, verse number 5 of um, chapter 13. So as I said, this chapter 13 is about jnana, and this jnana, this knowledge, it helps to detach ourselves from material attachments. So when we get knowledge, when we um, understand that I am separate from this material world, I am the Atma, there is Paramatma, there is Prakriti, and how we are interacting with each other, then slowly, that knowledge helps us to control our mind and senses and make us detach hmm, from intellectual perspective. And then when we focus on Krishna consciousness, we can do it very nicely. Okay. Uh, so, yes, we were in the text number 5. What we discussed was about the field of activities. Just quickly, I will go over the activities that Krishna Arjuna asked. He wanted to know about Prakriti, the nature, the Purushaha, the enjoyer, the field, the knower of the field, and of knowledge, and the object of knowledge. So out of which we discussed the field. What is the field? The body is the field. We discussed the body is the field. Where is our line? Yes. Because we use this body to achieve our material aspirations, desires, and work, livelihood, right? So it is the field on which we work on. Who is the knower of the field? The soul, the Atma, ourselves. And then there is knower of all bodies, that is the Paramatma. So there are two knowers. And then we are yet to talk about Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha, little bit we discussed. Purusha means the enjoyer. See, the soul wants to control this body. And yesterday we gave through an example of gulab jamun, that it directs the body and then it tastes the gulab jamun, right? So there is a tendency to enjoy, and it comes from Krishna because we are part and parcel of Krishna. So ultimately, Krishna wants to enjoy. So we are his part. We also want to enjoy. Just like there are children, and they also act like their parents only, right? Their nature, how they behave, how they talk, how they walk. They there will be a lot of resemblance of their parents in them, right? We like we will say like father like son, right? like mother, like daughter. We'll say like that, right? So similarly, soul has a tendency to enjoy. Why? Because Krishna has a tendency to enjoy, and soul is part and parcel of Krishna. So there are Purusha means enjoyment tendency is there. So we'll go into detail into that. Now we will go to text number 5. Where?
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Sure. Yeah.
So you told soul has a tendency to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking till now that because of the three modes, we have this tendency to enjoy. Because of our mind, we are enjoying,
Okay.
since it directs us.
Hmm.
So how far it is true? Like,
Okay. So we know that Krishna is supreme enjoyer. This much we agree.
yes.
So soul, who is part of Krishna, is also having enjoying tendency. Okay, this much we agree, because just like father, so like son.
Okay.
Nothing difficult to understand. The problem is, or let's say the question is, does the soul wants to enjoy independently or with Krishna? Like, I'll give you example. Just let me admit devotees. Let's take example of children and parents. Let's say, the child gets a job. Now he can do two things. He can live separately, or he can live in joint family, with parents, right? This decision, does every child has or not?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is called as free will. I'm like, your teenagers will tell, I have free will, mummy, let me freely decide, you don't influence me. Agreed? Don't they
Yes.
start saying like this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they are right in saying that.
Mm.
They're right. They're nothing wrong in saying that. Krishna knows he has a free will, and he has given all the souls also free will, because they are not robots. They're not programmed toys. Yeah, you have free will. So what free will they have? Do they want to enjoy separately, or they want to enjoy with Krishna? Okay. When they want to enjoy, okay. So when they want to live, when they want to enjoy with the parents and live in a joint family, where they will live, and since ancestral home. Sorry, I'm spelling ancestral. Or let's say
ANCEST.
let's say they'll
Yes.
stay in the home. Like, they'll stay in the home, and if they live in separately, where they will stay?
They'll
Hotel.
stay
In a
alone from
separate
that.
home.
Separate home,
Separate
or let's put hotel.
hotel. Okay.
Okay, they will stay separately hotel. Now, if they stay at home, do they have to pay there? No, right?
No.
No.
No,
No.
everything is provided. Indeed, those who stay with parents, right? Parents only take care of the children, even if they grow. This is a tendency. Parents, even if their child is like 30 years, 40 years, still the parent will take care as if my child is like 15-year-old
Small
boy
babies.
or 10-year-old boy, like that. Agreed?
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
So at home, he's very jolly. It's a very jolly environment. Everything is taken care. Now, let's say what happens at the hotel. He has to pay.
Hotel means they have to pay.
Yeah, they have to pay. He has to follow rules and regulations of the hotel.
Mm.
He cannot just break anything. At home, if he breaks window, what happens? Parents don't say anything, little bit of shouting, that's it. But if it happens at hotel, what will happen? Hotel will send a bill.
We'll have to pay for it.
Yeah, we have to pay for it. Okay. And will he
Mm.
have will he have like here there is free caretaker and free well wisher. Okay, he doesn't have to pay. But in hotel everything is paid paid caring, or let's use some technical words. What is that? Paid service, right? At home everything is free service,
Mm.
Yes.
and there it is all paid service. So he has to work hard to enjoy, while at home,
There's no need to work hard.
yeah, he just has to cooperate with parents to live happily. Okay, agreed?
Mm.
So free will decides, where to go. Now when that free will, Krishna says you want to live separately, you will go to hotel. So what is the hotel? Krishna said, I only made the hotel, which is nothing but the material world. What is home? Spiritual world.
Home is spiritual abode.
Yeah, spiritual world, Goloka.
Goloka.
Goloka Vrindavan. So where do you want to live? Okay. So
Goloka
now
Vrindavan.
when we go to hotel, you have to work hard to enjoy. Now to work hard, Krishna gives a body. Take this body. And this body is influenced by three modes. Okay. So the tendency to enjoy is contaminated by three modes. Okay. And we will see in 14th chapter. What are the three modes? Goodness,
The goodness, illusion,
passion,
and
ignorance. What are the Sanskrit words for it?
illusion.
Sattva gun,
Sattva, Rajo and Tamoguna.
and Tam. Okay. So if he enjoys in Sattva gun, what is the result? Good.
Good.
Result is always good here. It is not a lot of disturbance and all that. In Rajo, result is
Fair.
what?
Fair. That is.
It's not fair. It
passion
is misery.
That is neither there, neither here.
Okay, it is misery. In 14th chapter, we will learn that result of passionate activity is misery.
Mm.
Misery means it will be disturbing. It won't be, peaceful. Unpeaceful. And in Tamo, what is the result?
Misery. Nothing.
Madness. Madness. Chaos.
Totally you go.
So in the hotel, three things can happen. If he listens properly, good thing, he will live properly. If he does misery, he will be thrown out. If he does madness, then he will be given to police. So this is how we are enjoying. And if you want to remember how to live, tell me the name of three brothers from Ramayana.
Three brothers.
There are four brothers and then there are three brothers. I want the name of three brothers.
Bharat, Lakshman and Shatrughan.
Bharata.
No, there are four brothers. I want the name of three brothers.
Yeah, Bharat,
Ravan, Vibhishan, Kumbhakarna.
Yes, Ravan, Vibhishan, Kumbhakarna.
Acha.
Vibhishan.
But Vibhishan is the good, and
Ravan.
passion is Ravan, and ignorance is
Kumbhakarna. This is how we should remember.
Prabhuji, Kumbhakarna preached Ravana to why you have to bring Sita.
Yeah. But the way he preached, was, you did a wrong thing, Ravan. You shouldn't have kidnapped Sita. But now that you have kidnapped Sita, I will protect you and I will fight with Ram. Okay, so that was the problem, madness. But Vibhishan said, "You did wrong, Ravana. I'm not going to support you." Ravana said,
So he
"I
did
don't
good.
care. Everybody is there for to die for me. He let my brothers die, let my children die, let everybody die, but I won't give Sita."
This is.
So he brought misery to whole Lanka. Okay, so we have to decide. We have still the free will to live like Vibhishan or Ravana or like Kumbhakarna.
Yes.
Okay, so does this answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, so let's get back to our activity thing. So somebody read the translation of this.
Shall
Shall
I
I
read,
read?
Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead.
That knowledge of the field of activities and of the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect.
Yeah, so the field of activities, that is the body, right? It is
Yes.
described in lot of details by various sages. So why Krishna is talking about sages? The reason is he also quotes what the sages are saying. He doesn't independently say, "I am the intelligent person." No, he says this sage said this thing, this sage said that thing. So he's giving respect to the previous teachers. So that is his Krishna's quality. Even though he's Supreme Lord, he's giving respect to all the previous teachers, acharyas, those who expanded on the Vedic system, on the Vedic knowledge. Even though he's the original creator of the Vedas, still he gives respect to his teachers. So this is a great quality that we should learn from Krishna. And second thing, he talks about Vedanta Sutra. So Vedanta Sutra was written by Vyasadeva. Veda Anta. So I have some I want to show you. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes,
this is
Prabhuji.
the whole Vedic knowledge, the tree of Vedic knowledge. Vedas consist of 10 raised to 10 shlokas, meaning after one you put 10 zeros, that many shlokas are there. So it is such a huge body. It is divided into two parts, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is revealed by the absolute truth. Krishna personally revealed in the heart of Brahma. And Smriti is those, all the sages, they studied the Shruti, they meditated on it, and they expanded on it. And in the Shruti, the four Vedas are there: Rig, Yajur, Ved, the Samhitas, the Aranyakas, Upanishads are there, the Vedangas are there, Vyakaran, Nirukti, Chandas, Jyotisha, Kalpa. In the Smriti, the Tantras are there, Pancharatras are there, the Sutras are there, the six philosophy are there: Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, Mimamsa, Nyaya, Vedanta. This is the Vedanta. And the Puranas are there, 18 major, 18 minor, and the Itihasas, the two main Itihasas, Mahabharata, Ramayana. And inside Mahabharata comes Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna and written by Vyasadeva. So it is Smriti and it is Shruti both. Okay, so this is the whole Vedic tree. You see this? So all this Smriti is actually composed by the sages, and Krishna is giving them respect and quoting them in the Bhagavad Gita.
Prabhuji, are recording, Prabhuji?
Yes, it's getting recorded. You can see this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So so details are in the Vedanta Sutra. So whatever we read now is actually crash course. Okay, jnana, yesterday I said, right, is a long process where one leaves family, goes to forest, he meditates, talks with other sannyasis, and keeps discussing about what is this, what is that, what is this world, like 24 elements yesterday we saw and all that. Okay, so okay. Okay. So there are other Upanishads like Taittiriya Upanishad and the Vedanta Sutra, the Katha Upanishad. They talk about this nature, the material world, the living entity, and the supreme super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead. They talk about that. Okay. Okay. Hmm. So because these are very long purports, na, I will make it
Mm.
short for you. And yeah. So let's talk about this 5 stages of Brahman realization. Okay, this is discussed in the purport. You must have heard about these words like Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Jnanamaya Kosha. Have you heard about these?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. So what happens is we get this body, right? Meaning the soul gets this body, and
Mm.
it has to slowly understand, come to the spiritual platform, right? How does that happen? So in Taitra Upanishad, it is said first is Annamaya. Annamaya Kosha means the baby thinks that food is everything for itself, is everything that it wants, right? Like all the Matajis when they have babies, you must have seen that the baby is only interested in food, nothing
Mm.
else, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this continues for like 3 4 years.
Mm.
Hmm?
Mm.
So the baby understands that the food is supreme for it, and
Mm.
food is Krishna. So that's how it
Mm.
experiences Krishna. Then slowly understands there are other beings also near him. That that understanding is called as Pranamaya Kosha. He understands that there are other beings near him, other life forms. This is my father, this is my brother, this is my sister, these are uncle, aunties, and then it starts reflecting on them. And for him now, with food, the family members become very important. So you know the toddler, the baby will go only to near to the family
Mother and
members.
mm.
But if it goes in the hand of a stranger, it will simply cry.
We cry.
Yeah. Then when it grows more than 5 years, 8 years, then it starts having thinking, feeling, willing.
Mm.
There he starts thinking independently, feeling and willing. Then our toddlers will argue with us. Then we cannot fool them. When they were babies, we
Mm.
could easily fool them. We could turn their heads and make them forget things. But as they become 8 years old, 9 years old, it is difficult. Then they will
Mm.
start negotiating, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Then they will start saying, I don't want to go to school. And you cannot say anything. As a baby, you could do anything with them.
Mm.
Whether the baby liked to take bath or not, you would make them take bath. But when they are toddlers, it is very difficult. Everything
Mm.
is negotiation. My son is 8 years old. Every day is a negotiation, from brushing,
Mm.
clothing, taking him to school, bringing him back. Everything is a negotiation. So he's using that ability in him for, again, for his material needs only. Still, he's not come to the platform of like spirituality. Then slowly, when he's trained in spiritual knowledge, then he comes to know about the soul and that he's different from the soul. So that is called as Vijnanamaya. So Jnanamaya, then Vijnana. Vijnana is what? To realize the self as different from the field of activity, including the subtle body. I am different from the body. I am actually spirit soul. So by the age of like 10 years, 12 years, this realization should come. In the Vedic times, the children were taught in the Vedas, and then they would understand by that time. Prahlad Maharaj was even quicker. By the age of 5 or even just born only, he understood Vijnanamaya. Why? Why
Because
Prahlad? Huh?
Narada Muni was preaching him, no?
Yeah, because his teacher was Narad Muni. Okay, and Prahlad Maharaj actually went beyond Vijnanamaya. He went to Anandamaya, where he could realize the supreme. See, we may have toddlers and we may have youth, but when we tell them to pay obeisances to the Lord, you have to force them, right? Because they didn't they have not come to the platform of Anandamaya. Okay, they have not even come to the platform of Vijnanamaya. So we have to, force them. But once they come on this platform, then they will do it automatically. Like, we are getting trained in knowledge. Now we have very different outlook towards Krishna. Agreed?
Yes.
Even if somebody is named Krishna, we have little bit emotions for that,
Mm.
right? Because
Yes.
slowly we are getting trained. So that is called as Anandamaya. Okay. So in the field, all these koshas should happen. One should move from one kosha to another to another to another and come to Anandamaya. Okay. Um, okay. So the purport talks much more about it, but we are a little bit constrained on time, and um, we'll come back. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I just want to ask you,
Sure.
this explanation is so nice. I'm just wondering why from chapter 1 to 12 such things were not explained, Prabhuji. Only from 13 we are
Oh yeah.
listening to
See,
you.
13 is knowledge, na?
Huh,
From first to 6 is karma.
karma.
It's
Yeah.
talking mostly about knowledge plus let me someone joined, I think.
Duty. Duty.
Yeah, duty, activity, karma, fruits and all that. But now we are talking pure knowledge. And when we
Acha.
talk about knowledge, right, it is food for knowledge is food for
Our
Hmm.
brain. Our
brain, intelligence.
brain.
And when intelligence becomes clear, then we start acting very clearly, and we get that confidence in us. Getting?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
if you are, say, if you are driving somewhere and you come to a point where there are three roads and you have to choose one of them.
Hmm.
Now you ask five people, and all five
Yeah.
people say you have to take the left road.
Hmm.
Now you have clarity in mind. You're not going to doubt, and
Yeah.
you will be
Correct.
happy. Okay, I got the real knowledge. Now I will go with full speed.
Yeah.
So this is what
Yes.
knowledge does to us.
Okay.
And Krishna says, with the weapon of knowledge, cut the attachments.
Hmm.
He's going to say this in the 15th chapter.
Okay.
So that's what you are feeling. That is knowledge. See, when we read second chapter, we got a knowledge of soul. So immediately,
Correct.
there was a different feeling. Now we are going much more deeper. Krishna only
Yes.
talked about soul, but he didn't say about super soul. He didn't say about
Hmm.
nature, right? So he's talking here.
Correct.
He's talking here.
Okay.
Okay. So we discussed a little bit about 6 and 7. I'm skipping a little bit because I want to discuss something much more interesting. Hmm?
Okay.
Everything is interesting. There's no problem, but there is something really much more nicer today, from 8 verse to 12. We will all like it. So somebody read text number 5, 6 and 7.
Can I read,
Yeah,
Prabhuji?
go ahead. Go ahead.
The five great elements: false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, and the mind, the five senses, five sense objects: desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms, and convictions. All these are considered, in summary, to be the field of activities and its interactions.
Okay.
Shall I
So
read further?
no, wait. See,
Okay.
the field we know, right? Body. But what
Hmm.
happens in this body? So yesterday we discussed that. In this body, what all we have in this body? We have senses.
We have senses.
Yeah, and
And
we
then
use
heart.
those sense. Then we have mind. We have some feelings, emotions. We have decision making capability, right? So all this is nothing but fields of sorry. All this is activities that we do in the field. Okay. All this we do. So we will, yeah. So if you see components of the field of activities, there are 24 in number. So the Gyanis, right, they go through each and every element very deeply. They will study. They'll make a PhD in everything, and slowly they'll come to the understanding of the soul. But for us, Krishna makes it fast. So five great elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Five senses: eyes, ears,
Eyes,
nose, like
nose, ears, and
11
all.
senses, including the mind. Acha, these are five working senses. Then these are 11 senses. Um, if you want to know
Intelligence
the
and false
detail,
ego. Subtle, subtle.
it will be there. See, there is five senses to acquire knowledge: eyes, ears, nose, tongue. Then five working senses. They work: voice, legs, hands, anus, genital. They work. So how many are these? 10. And
Then
then 11th is
mind
the mind. You know. So that's how it is. Then we have intelligence and false ego. Intelligence is what? Decision making
and
capability.
yeah,
And we said
subtle
that knowledge is food for intelligence. So if
intelligence
we have to fortify the intelligence, how do we fortify intelligence? By knowledge. Therefore, sometimes with these speakers and these self-help books, they say, oh, you should read. You should read good books and keep reading, keep reading, keep reading. You must have heard this, right? It's a
Yes,
buzz.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Why? Because the intelligence becomes stronger and stronger. And then there is false ego, or let's say ego. Ego means
That is
I,
our,
I,
nobody is
I,
yeah,
Parvati,
our
compare me.
identity.
identity,
Nobody can
our
compare me.
identity. In short, our
Yeah.
identity, whom
Nobody
we
can
consider.
compare me.
I am
Nobody.
man, I am woman, I am Mr. Sharma, I am Miss this, I am Miss India, I am Pakistani, I am Indian, I am United States of American,
I'm fair.
I'm fair, I'm black. So that
I'm
ego,
black.
whether it is true ego or false ego, mostly it is false ego. What is false ego? I am this body
Body.
and I am the designation. True ego is Jivara
Prabhuji, it is a
Swarup.
subtle, no, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yeah. Identity is subtle, na? You cannot point it, na?
Point it out. Yeah.
Identity is subtle. So when we take to bhakti, we get true identity. What it is? Jivara Swarup hoy Krishnara Nityadas. I am servant of Krishna.
Servant of the servant of the servant.
Servant of the servant of Krishna. Okay. Okay. Then interactions with the gross body. Desire, hatred, happiness, distress. Interaction with subtle body. Living symptoms represented by consciousness, convictions. And then there is a list, big list here, which is not there in Bhagavad Gita, but in the Jnana literatures, there's a bigger list. Okay. Uh, okay, six changes of the body. The body takes
Takes,
birth. I will show
grows.
you. I'll show you in the our let's say here. It's a baby, toddler, youth, middle age, old age, like that. So the body changes. What all changes happen?
From
First,
childbirth
It
to
takes birth,
old
it
age.
grows, stays for
Yes.
some time like that, gives byproducts, decays, and then finally death. So this is the changes that are happening in the field. So it is still an activity in the field. Okay.
mm,
Now, in the next section, Krishna is going to talk about Kshetragya. So now we come to know about the body, we come to know about the soul, we come to know the activities which are happening in the body. Now the point is how to get out of it. So we have to know about the super soul now. Who is the next Kshetragnya?
mm.
Super soul.
So now
Hare
we,
Krishna.
yeah,
Prabhuji,
yes,
I have a doubt. Prabhuji, can you just explain that unmanifested stage of three modes? Like, why is it called unmanifested? Because the
where it
three
is
modes
written?
next to false ego intelligence, pradhana.
Oh, Pradhana. Um,
Unmanifested stage of three modes
okay,
called pradhan.
Pradhana.
okay. So what happens is this is in the process of creation. So in the process of creation, right? Some more details are there in Bhagavatam. In the process of creation, we have Mahavishnu, right? From whose every pore we get many universes.
Chirodata Vishnu, Garbhodaka
Ah,
Sai Vishnu, and
yeah. So we have Mahavishnu, from his pores we get many universes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how creation happens. Now Mahavishnu has this material energy with itself, his own material energy, which is not manifested. Unmanifested matlab it is in a box. Okay. Or let's say
In a dormant stage, like
yeah, in
something.
a dormant stage you can say, or let's say it's like, it's like clay. It's a mound of clay.
Okay.
It is unmanifested. We don't know what will come out of it, right?
mm,
So now Mahavishnu, what he does, he uses which
he
sense?
expands himself. He
which
expands
which sense
himself.
he uses? Which sense he uses?
He uses
Which
senses.
sense? Which sense does
His
he use?
Which sense?
internal energy.
Wait. Okay, he uses a sense. His one of his senses. Which senses? We'll ask. To impregnate
Uh-huh.
the
Okay, okay.
material energy. So which sense he uses?
Impregnate
Eyes.
the material energy
Eyes,
to
Prabhuji.
external
Glass.
energy.
What?
Eyes.
Eyes.
Glass. So,
Eyes.
Spelling wrong.
EYES.
He uses his eyes to impregnate, which we cannot do, right? We cannot impregnate with eyes. so
I
so
know.
yeah, so this is the separation. Now we are going to read about it, that his senses is not like us. And this unmanifested mound of clay is called pradhana. Okay, and when he impregnates the material energy with jivas, then um then the universe is created, the jivas with the body is created, Brahma is created, like that. Okay, etc, etc. So this is the pradhana. You just consider it like a mound of clay, unmanifested.
so Prabhuji, when the body is created, so like each body, depending upon the desire, so it will have the modes of nature also. It's right, Prabhuji. It's like that. So that's
There
why
is
it's.
there is some more detail to it in Bhagavatam. I will share that chapter on the WhatsApp, where the whole process of creation is explained. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, some more details are required, and we don't have that much time to go. And it is complicated. Like I told you, this knowledge is it takes a lot of time. You can think how much the gyanis they spend on it. Just
Mm.
talking pradhana took 5 minutes for us. They will go for many lifetimes talking about it. Okay. Now Krishna talks about, okay, now the point is, okay, we got this body, we are the fields of activities, and now how to get out of it. So we have to get out by getting this real knowledge, jnana, what it is exactly. And today we will focus on that. Next half an hour we'll just focus on that, because it is very interesting.
Mm.
Hmm? Okay, good, we have this table. So I will skip this and we will come to, yeah. So someone who has not read, please read this translation, please.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever that may be ignorance.
Okay.
Krishna.
So if Krishna started a university, this is what he's going to teach. And he's going to say this is knowledge. Everything else is ignorance. And we start a university. What are we going to teach? What is taught in today's university? What is the so-called knowledge that is taught in university?
Knowledge, field.
Huh?
Maths, physics, chemistry.
Yeah. So if Krishna starts a university, this
That
is
is the
what he's going to teach.
biology, physics, chemistry,
Yeah.
maths, engineering.
So that's why he says all that is ignorance. And yesterday we saw, right? Ignorance, another word is niscience. But he said that we should learn it side by side. Okay?
Simultaneously.
So, yeah. So even though he says ignorance, it doesn't mean that we have to neglect it. It means we have to give its own place. Like, we need our chappal and shoes, right?
Yes.
But when we come home, what we do to those chappal and shoes?
We
We
remove it
We keep
and
it
come.
outside the house, right?
House, yeah.
Yes.
We keep
This
it
is what
outside
Krishna
house.
is saying. You give that knowledge its place. Don't bring it inside and put it on your head. Understand where to use it. You have to use it, because if you don't wear chappal and if you don't wear shoes, you go outside, there will be stones, there will be thorns. It will be unpleasant, right?
That means, in a way, he says, don't enter deep into material things.
No, use it. Use.
Wherever required.
Do the needful. Use it for its purpose. What purpose it is made for, only use it for that purpose only.
Okay.
Okay. Now, other way to understand is, let's make a plate of prasadam. Now you have chapati, you have sabji, you have rice, you have dal, you have some chutney, you have gulab jamun, you have papad. Now you tell me, how many chapatis will be there?
One or two.
One or two.
Okay, we will make this. Okay, chapati. Okay, what will be the quantity of rice? Tell me in cups.
1 cup. 1 cup.
1 cup.
One.
Okay. What will be the quantity of dal?
One small.
That will be half cup.
Half cup. 1 cup. 1 cup dal.
1
Okay.
cup will
What
be.
what
Okay.
about sabji? How many
Sabji
sabjis?
also 1 cup. 1
Two
cup.
sabjis.
One cup. One sabji.
Dry
One
sabji.
cup.
One wet sabji.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a good combination. Okay. What about chutney?
That will be 1
Small cup.
small
So
1
let's say
cup.
2 spoonfuls.
Spoons.
Right?
Okay.
How many papad?
2
One.
papads.
Okay, 1 or 2. I'm okay with that. Let's put some gulab jamun. How many gulab jamun?
2.
One or
Let's put 2. Okay. Now we understand, okay, how much to use. But now this is for a grown up. Someone who is matured and all that. Now tell me, let's say a 6 or a 7-year-old, how they will eat. If they are given
They
the
eat
plate, what
only
they are going to
half
do?
cup.
half quantities of.
No, whatever.
One
They will
one
start
roti.
eating papad first. How many papad they will
They'll
eat? They may
papad,
eat
they'll
3 and 4. When it comes to
they'll eat.
chapati, they will say
Chapati
no.
half only they take.
They will say no chapati.
No chapati.
If they put rice, they will say no dal.
They'll say no.
And
Sabji
chutney,
also no.
they will
No
say
sabji.
throw away.
Yeah.
So a matured
And
person.
this thing, jamun, gulab jamun.
Yeah, I forgot. Gulab jamun, they will say
I will take one more.
5.
Two.
5.
2 or 3.
No, 2 they will start, but they may go to 5 also.
5. Okay.
So the point is, a matured person knows what quantity to use.
Yes.
But an immature, childish, he eats more, which should not be. So okay. So now Krishna has given this 2 knowledge. Ignorant ignorance or nation's knowledge? And spiritual knowledge. So now we have to use our maturity and we have to use it in its with its purpose, right? If we want to live our livelihood, should we use which knowledge should we use for livelihood?
We should use
Nation's knowledge,
we should use
right?
spiritual knowledge,
No, we should
but
not use
nescience
the
is
spiritual
also there.
knowledge to earn.
Yeah, nescience is there
Livelihood means
to,
earning.
yeah,
So to earn, we should use nation's knowledge.
nescience,
Our
yeah,
physics, chemistry, mathematics, finance, etc., etc.
etc.
Medical law, that knowledge we should use to earn.
Yes.
So spiritual knowledge we should not use to earn. Spiritual knowledge we should use for self-realization.
Self-realization.
But what happens? People do ulta. For living a livelihood, they will use spiritual knowledge. And they will say self-realization, they will use nation's knowledge. So the point is, again, okay, yeah. The point is, we should know what is the use of the chappal. We should not become immature, childish. What happens? How the child takes care of the chappal? It puts in the mouth, right?
Yes.
All parents have gone through. One day the child picks up the chappal and puts it in his mouth. Agreed?
Yes.
So we should not be childish. We should know chappal is to be used for walking thing and it should be kept outside. Similarly, when we get this maturity, then we should know that where to use the nation's knowledge and where to use spiritual knowledge. Got it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So we have to become matured. We should not remain childish. Okay. So now we will enter into Krishna's university and try to understand what is the knowledge that he's saying. So this is very interesting purports and all that. We have some time. So first thing he says is humility. So I will use the help of a table. So this table that is there, 20 points he says, 20 points. And we'll go through this table. Okay, what does humility means? Humility means not to be anxious to have satisfaction of being honored by others. Honored means wherever we go, people should honor me. They should look at me, touch my feet, give me respect. That is against humility. Humility means I don't want this, or I am not anxious for it. If I get it, I will respect it, but I am not going to demand. Like sometimes it happens in marriages in India. Some uncle will start demanding. I was not given this pan, I was not given this shirt or this sari or this and that. Finish. All Indians have to go through this drama.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
It happens for Prabhuji.
So this drama we should not do in spiritual life. We should be humble. Okay, pridelessness means not to be anxious to be famous for one's religion. In today's world we see this thing. Like I was saying, there was this one person, his videos are there on YouTube. What is he doing is he's keeping a flower on the DT, say Durga Devi or Shankar Bhagwan or Ganpati. He's keeping it in such a way that when he folds his hand, that flower falls down. And he's taking a YouTube video of it and he's sending everybody. See, anywhere I go, this flower falls down. So this is a pride that he's having. In this regard, I will tell you a story of our Jiva Goswami. So when first time the Chaitanya Charitamrita had to be taken to Bengal, the three acharyas, Srinivas Acharya, Shyamananda Prabhu, and one more, Narottam Das Thakur. Yes, they were to take these books of Chaitanya Charitamrita to Bengal. This is the first time they were taking Chaitanya Charitamrita outside of Vrindavan. They wrote it They copied it, and now they were going to take it, and then they were going to distribute it, preach it. So they had to take permission. So they said, let's go to Jiva Goswami. And went to Jiva Goswami and they said, you give us the permission. And Jiva Goswami is such a great acharya. He thought, I am not qualified to give this permission. We will go to Radha Damodar. So they went to the deity of Radha Damodar and they prayed. And while praying, the garland fell.
Mm.
Then the pujari said that whatever you prayed has been approved.
Mm.
Mm.
So you see, this is how our acharyas have shown pridelessness. Jiva Goswami is such a great acharya. He could have said, yes, take it, I give my full blessings. But no, he said Chaitanya Charitamrita is not different than Krishna, not different than Lord Chaitanya. Only they will decide.
Mm.
So that kind of pridelessness and humility, we should aspire for. Non-violence. Now, non-violence is a big topic, ahimsa. Ahimsa means no, it doesn't mean zero violence. Ahimsa means necessary violence.
Mm.
And here Prabhupada gives another meaning to it. Says not to put others in distress.
Mm.
Now this again means no violence. But what does this mean is, if somebody is living in this material world, he's under distress, right?
Yes.
So that means he's practicing violence. So therefore we have to give spiritual knowledge to get him out of this distress. And that is what it means by non-violence. Okay, so two meaning. One is necessary violence, where the Kshatriya, the administrator, the army person, police, and all that, they have to do compulsory violence to protect the weak from the evil. Okay, by doing that, it is not considered violence. They are not apprehended because they acted like that, right?
Mm.
So that is one meaning. Second meaning is not to put others into distress. Okay, one of the distresses is material life. So to get rid of his material life, we give him spiritual knowledge. Okay. So that's why we have to try to distribute real knowledge. So in the month of December, or actually, book distribution should happen every time, every week, every day. Actually, should happen. Tolerance. Tolerance means to bear
Prahlad,
insult and
Prahlad.
dishonors.
Mm.
Example, Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhupada gives Prahlad, because we know Prahlad Maharaj, his father tried to kill him.
Mm.
Such a dishonor, such a insult. He insulted Prahlad Maharaj, but he didn't protest. He just tolerated. Simplicity, straightforwardness, so much without duplicity. So much without duplicity is that even if an enemy comes in front of us, we will tell him our secrets. That level of simplicity. Even to an enemy, I will tell what is my secret. I'll tell you. So that simplicity is there. Then accepting the spiritual master.
Prabhuji, I have a question regarding this simplicity. So,
Yeah.
how far it is practical, Prabhu, like telling all our truths even to the
Okay. Yeah.
enemy?
Yeah. 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 So, okay. Good question. We are still halfway, but I will answer. Okay. So all these qualities, right? One may feel, oh, these are very big qualities. Very dangerous qualities in one way. If I start practicing, it will be difficult for me, and that is true. So, first point is, um, we have to start from where we are. Just like a baby. Does a baby um, start walking? No, right? It starts crawling.
Yes.
Even before crawling, it starts turnover.
Mm.
Then it crawls. Then it tries to walk, falls. then it walks properly. Okay, when it becomes toddler. So we have to start from where we are, and we have to slowly bring these qualities in us. We cannot bring them abruptly. Okay, we cannot become like Prahlad Maharaj. But given a certain situations, we can act like that. We can act to certain extent. We can act, not to every insult and dishonor. You know, we are to supposed to react, right? Or sorry,
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, you mean to say follow it, not imitate it.
no.
Correct?
What I mean to say is, um, we have to slowly bring these qualities. We cannot immediately become, fully like this. So these qualities need some training, and the training first is we learn from those who have those qualities, and then in our situations that we come in our life, we control our response. See, there are some situations where we'll be insulted, we'll be dishonored, right? At that point, if we remember Prahlad Maharaj, then we can control our response to that insult.
But in present world, we cannot do this, na Prabhuji. A person will be going on insulting, and we go on, keep
So,
quiet.
so see, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
That we cannot become Prahlad Maharaj, but at the
correct.
same time, the response that we'll give to the insult and dishonor won't be very destructive.
Mm.
It will be a constructive response. Why?
Okay.
Because we heard about Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes.
So the point is, um, um, we may not fully come to the 100% tolerance, 100% humility, but we should
Yes.
not remain at 0% humility and 0% tolerance or 0% non-violence just because we cannot follow it. No,
Mm.
we have to slowly increase that percentage in us,
Mm.
and
Okay.
it comes by practice. So so there are multiple things that happen. Okay, these qualities, this knowledge, right, it comes by training, then it comes by inspiration from pure souls. We take some inspiration from that. Then it also comes by chanting Hare Krishna.
Mm.
Okay, then it comes by reading Shrimad Bhagavatam. So basically it comes by sadhana. Okay, it comes by when we learn how to etiquette, how to respond, sadachar,
Mm.
and then by doing seva. So all these things, right, they fortify us, these qualities in us. They
Okay.
slowly bring out these qualities in. Actually, these qualities are there already in us. And
Yes.
when we do chant Hare Krishna, when we serve spiritual master, when we serve a guru, we serve jivas, we serve other Vaishnavas, then slowly, all these qualities start increase. They reveal 1%, 2%, 3%, 50%, 60%, 70%, like that. They start revealing,
Mm.
and we'll come to the best point of it. If you want these qualities to become faster revelation, we have to accept a spiritual master. See,
Mm.
Prahlad Maharaj became Prahlad Maharaj. Why? Because of his teacher Narad Muni.
Narad Muni.
Why did Valmiki become Valmiki from a dacoit? Because of accepting a spiritual master,
Mm.
like that. So we have to accept spiritual master. And what we have to do with the spiritual master? We should offer him some services, menial services. Like in the previous time, they used to collect dry wood for the yajnas. In today's
Mm.
time, what we do? We donate, we distribute books, his books, right? We are distributing Srila Prabhupada's books.
Mm.
and we sit and listen to what he's saying. That is also very very important service, to sit in front of the guru and just open our ears and listen with humility. Humility means not for
Humble.
being honored, that after the class the guru should tap my head because you listen. No,
To be
for,
humble.
yes, to be simple without duplicity.
Hmm.
As a student, I want to understand, I want to learn. Okay. Cleanliness. External is by bathing, internal is by chanting. Okay, so
Hmm.
internal cleanliness, how do we do? By chanting. Cheto darpana marjanam. Our heart is getting cleaned.
Hmm.
So holy name is cleaning our heart. We use soap to clean our body, but to clean
Yeah.
our heart from the anarthas, chanting. If the heart is cleaned, what happens? These qualities start coming out of us: humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity. Right? Agreed?
Okay.
Agreed? Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So our sadhana, our practice brings out these qualities in us. These qualities are there in us, in the soul, but it is covered with anarthas. And by chanting, by reading, by associating, by seva, by holy yatra, like that, slowly, slowly, all these qualities come. Hmm?
Hmm.
Okay. We go ahead. Steadiness. Steadiness is, now we have to be steady in spiritual life, in our sadhana. Okay, that is required. We have to be determined. Ups and downs happen, but we have to come back. That is what it means by steadiness. Self control. Self control means we have to control when things are unfavorable around us, and we should reject anything that is unfavorable for spiritual advancement. Then renunciation of sense objects, meaning which is unfavorable, we should reject it. And uh, food we cannot reject, so we should eat vegetarian food, offer it to Krishna, and eat the prasadam. So this is how we make it favorable. So some unfavorable things we have to make it favorable. How to do that? If we can convert it to prasadam, great. But if we cannot convert it to prasadam, then we should reject it. Getting this point? Then absence of false ego. Absence of false ego is telling that I am servant of Krishna. I am not this body, but I am servant of Krishna. And to keep doing service, I will utilize my body, I will take care of my body also. Hmm? For that purpose I will take care of my body, so that my service to Krishna continues. Perception of evil of birth, death, disease, and old age. We should always be remembering birth, death, old age, and disease. Now on this planet we get disease and old age, right? And we see
Yes.
death around us, and we should not neglect these realities of life, because these realities of life will take us nearer to Krishna. Agreed?
Hmm.
See, when we are in stress, then we go to God, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So these are opportunities to go nearer Krishna more. Then slowly the detachment will also come. Detachment means whatever I have, I will utilize in Krishna's service. See, when we became devotees, we detached our um, our uh, our tendency to eat food for our satisfaction, right? We came to know
Yes.
we have to offer to Krishna. So
Correct.
then we have to first, from non-vegetarian, then vegetarian, inside in vegetarian, no onion, garlic, and then we have to offer it to the picture of Krishna. So we became little detached, right?
Yes.
Then we started chanting, one round, two round, three round, four round, 8 minutes, 16 minutes, 32 minutes. Now it takes. We have become detached. No more television, or even if we see television, it is very restricted. So slowly, slowly, the detachment happens. Okay.
Yes.
No entanglement with wife and children. Now, what is this? The you should focus on the word entanglement. Entanglement means what? Means what? Tell me, what does entanglement means?
Getting stuck.
Let's see some pictures. Getting stuck, entangle. Another picture I want to show you is I'm showing some very no dangerous pictures here.
Mm.
But it is basically this is entanglement. So with wife and children, and for women with husband, okay, this entanglement should not be there. Meaning those things should not bind us. Those things should not bind us. Bind us means what? Bind us from whom? From Krishna, right? So these things should not stop us from doing spiritual life. Agreed? That is meaning of entanglement. If they help us in spiritual life, very nice. But if they don't help us, then we should not be so attached to them. Okay? Any questions on this point?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. So see, if we take example of Prahlad Maharaj, right? Prahlad Maharaj was not so attached to Hiranyakashipu. As a father, he told him that we have to worship Vishnu, even though he knew that his father is against Vishnu, right? So he was not so attached with it, and he was ready to teach his father the right thing. You are getting? So for Prahlad, it was very difficult situation. In our life, it may not be that difficult. Okay, some opposition may be there. Then we should find a way to resolve that opposition. Sometimes by talking, sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes by doing nice things, like children, if they're opposing, then children, they should experience the fun side of spiritual life, the good music, the good food. They should experience that. you know Children, they like pani puri. They like what all they like. Can you tell me names of items that children like to eat?
Pasta,
Huh?
noodles,
Cream,
pizza,
Pasta, noodles,
pizza,
anything,
pasta,
tell me all.
noodles,
ice
pizza,
creams,
Pizza,
ice cream
ice
strategy,
pasta,
cream, and
cakes,
pasta,
tell me chaat items.
charts.
pani puri, bel puri.
Pani puri bill. So all these things, till the point we
Kev,
can offer to Krishna, we can offer to Krishna, right? All these items that you said, if we can make it in such a way that we can offer it to Krishna. Agreed?
How can we offer this to Krishna?
What we cannot offer to Krishna? Let's start with that.
Pani puri.
We can offer to Krishna. It is vegetarian.
Okay, bel puri contains onion.
Don't put onion.
Okay.
Pizza.
Pani puri usually we buy from outside. That should be made at home, isn't it?
Yeah, make
Puri.
it at home so that you can offer it to Krishna.
Okay, okay.
And children should not be devoid of that. You should offer to Krishna, and then have children let eat them at home.
Krishna also will have
Ah,
some different food.
yeah. So that's the point. Sometimes when wife is opposing, she wants to eat very nicely. Make it at home, or bring it to Govindas. Huh?
Hmm.
Like that. Take to festivals. Make them wear nice clothes on the festivals. Everyone wants to decorate very nicely. Women want to decorate nicely. Men want to wear new clothes. On the festival of Janmashtami, do that. So, like that, we should see the opposing things and try to convert it to encouragement, to support. Okay, we should try like that. And for that, we should take help of other devotees, because many devotees go through this. Okay, so I had thought of completing, but now we are over time, 10 minutes over time. So let's stop here. Any one question or comment, or we will stop?
Now, this can you repeat it again tomorrow? This is very interesting.
Sure. Next week now, because tomorrow and day after tomorrow, you all have
Yeah.
to join the
Bhagavatam.
science of
Bhagavatam.
no science of self-realization series.
Sorry.